What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. And man, the Miami Heat have suffered another disappointing loss to the hands of the shorthanded Atlanta Hawks. Before we get into the game and what I saw from the game in this very disappointing encounter, I want to make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe as always. You guys have been killing it. Shout out to you guys. We've actually hit 400 subscribers, so shout out to you guys. Let's keep building, man. Let's keep building this community here. So shout out to you guys for getting me through to that 400 milestone, and you guys are responsible for that. And yeah, as far as the questions of the day, we did have 2 questions of the day. Shout out to everyone who shout out to the 2 people who submitted their questions of the day. Just a reminder, if you guys want to ask any questions about any NBA related, Heat related, anything you want, questions/comment of the day will be answered in the following video. So get your stuff in the comment section below, as always. The first question came from my guy Gabriel Giovanni. My bad if I mispronounced your name, my guy. But you had a very interesting question, and his question was, how would you react to new teams in the NBA, and which city would you like to have in the league? Now, this is something that has been talked about by a lot of NBA fans, about having some new expansion teams come in to the NBA. I think the very obvious one is Seattle. I was there for the Seattle Supersonics days when KD was drafted there, and Jeff Green and Rashard Lewis was on that team. And Seattle is very passionate about their basketball. And I remember, Seattle fans, their protests were when it was moved to the Thunder, and Seattle deserves a team. So I would say Seattle deserves a team. Other cities would be like Kansas City, maybe somewhere another city in Canada, because you can't just have one team. You probably would need 2 to balance out the conferences. But I'd love some new teams in the NBA. I think anything new is a good positive positive change to happen. A couple new teams wouldn't really hurt anything, and having an expansion draft would be pretty cool. So yeah, I would love to have a couple new teams in the NBA. Shout out to you. And the second question comes from my guy KD1111, who's actually been a day one since his channel started, so shout out to you. His question was more Heat related. He asked, how important is Dwayne Dedmon to the Heat? Obviously, Dwayne Dedmon was a guy we recently got in the buyout market. And I think he's very crucial to us. I think he's a guy that when Bam comes out of a game, we're not freaking out, because he's a very good backup option. He does everything we need him to do. He rebounds, he can block shots, he can protect the rim if he needs to, he can set screens, he can finish at the rim, he can catch lobs. He's a big body. He's everything you'd want in a backup center. And I think Dwayne Dedmon is someone who we might look to keep past the season, because he's shown that he can be a serviceable backup big to Bam. But that's all dependent on, I think, Precious's development, whether he's going to be here long term. But for this season, I think he's going to be huge for us, especially in those playing games, and if we're in the playing games, and especially in the playoffs. So Dwayne Dedmon, I think, is very crucial to our team. Let's get right into the game, man. It was very disappointing, our loss against the Hawks. I thought in the first half our offense was there, but I think our defense let us down, which hasn't really been the case this season. It's usually been our offense that has let us down, but I guess in this game the defense was the one that let us down, in the first half especially. And I think the Atlanta Hawks did have periods where they just didn't miss a shot, but I think it was more than just that. I think we kind of just got out hustled. We got completely outplayed and out hustled. Spo's rotations were a little bit questionable, I must say. I don't know why Goran Dragic played as much as he did. I really don't. 18 minutes for a guy that didn't really do much. He hit a 3, I think, to close out the third quarter, a step back 3. Apart from that, didn't do much at all. Didn't have a single assist. His defense was terrible. He was getting killed. So playing Goran Dragic 18 and playing Tyler Hero 17, when Tyler Hero looked like a guy. I know he turned the ball over a couple times in the first quarter, but he made a couple big shots, and Tyler Hero, I thought, gave us more than Goran Dragic did. I think Jimmy always does this thing where he's passive in the first half, and then in the second half he tries to come out aggressive. Didn't really work today. we're gonna have to see some games where he's aggressive throughout the whole game. I thought Trevor played all right for his role. I thought he rebounded, played some pretty good defense. He hit a couple corner threes when we asked him to. Duncan was not that great as far as his shots. He shot the ball, which is really good. We wanted to keep shooting every time. His shot just didn't go in, which I'm not too worried about. It's Duncan Robinson. He's a guy who's broken so many records for our team. I do think that he will find his shot soon. I'm not worried about Duncan. I thought Kanan was our best player, but apart from some of these guys, I thought Bam played terrible. I'm sorry, I don't really care what the box score says. Bam was getting out hustled out there. Okongwu out rebounded him. Collins out rebounded him. For our starting center to have 3 rebounds is unacceptable. And you can see it. They just out hustled us, out rebounded us. 38 rebounds to our 30. Crazy. I actually thought we turned the ball over a lot too, but it was only 13. I just happened to be timely turnovers that we had that really, really affected us. I thought the offense cooled down as well. We started to settle a lot in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth. We were settling a lot for threes. I thought we should have penetrated and kicked more than what we did. I thought in the first half, especially in that second quarter, we were good on offense, and I thought the defense was letting us down. I thought we came out aggressive in the third. I thought we went up by 7, if I'm not mistaken, and just after that, they just the floodgates opened and they just started going crazy. This is unacceptable, man. This loss is purely unacceptable. And if we're in the playing game, we only have ourselves to blame. We really do. I mean, man, we lost the game against the Atlanta Hawks, who did not have Trae Young, Clint Capella, Chris Dunn, Tony Snell, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter. Those are 6 quality players in their rotation, and they outplayed us. I don't know who Brandon Goodwin is, but he gave us the business tonight. And I'm starting to notice, there's always been a trend, it's kind of like a meme. Oh, wow, some random guy goes off against us. And it was funny, but now it's starting to get a little concerning. Because I actually thought we did a pretty good job on their main guys. Bogdanovic hit some tough shots. Gallinari hit some tough shots. I'm not worried about those contested threes. If they hit those, cool. Brandon Goodwin cooked us. Cooked our backcourt. He was giving Goran Dragic the business. And that's because when we double their and trap or focus all our attention on their main guys like a John Collins, who I thought had a mediocre game. I know he was their second leading scorer, but 20 points for a guy who's supposed to be their best player without Trae Young isn't really that much. So I thought we did a pretty good job on him. But it was the others. When we doubled John Collins, when we sent some guys at him, when there was a mismatch in the post and he had to kick it out for a wide open 3, they made us pay, plain and simple. And once they got going, it was kind of hard to stop them. Even their backup center, Nathan Knight, out-rebounded Bam. Bam got completely out-hustled. I keep saying he's not a center, but he's going to have to play center for us. It's no use for me to say, oh, he's not a center. That's not an excuse for Bam anymore because he's been playing center the whole year. So I can say he's a power forward. We got to get a center. We're not going to get a center anytime soon. Once we go into these next couple games, he's our starting center. So he has to play like a center and not play like a guard. I know he loves to pass. I know that he loves to do all that stuff. He was being guarded by a rookie and he wasn't aggressive. On the offensive glass, on the defensive glass, on the offensive end, he was not aggressive. I thought he was pretty good on defense. I thought he guarded John Collins pretty well. But the problem with this is that whenever he gets switched onto a guard, they get the offensive rebound. Because when the guard misses the shot, the big is in prime position to get the offensive rebound. And this is what happened in the first game. But in the first game, they had Capella. So I was like, okay, no Capella. They're not going to kill us on the glass. And they did. Disappointing game, man. And if you look at, we've been losing these types of games a lot. The Clippers, we lost to the Clippers twice without PG and Kawhi. I remember some dude named Amir Coffey killed us. We lost to the Clippers twice. We lost to the Timberwolves. We lost to the Pistons. We've had some tough losses. So if we're in the playing game, I know everyone can talk about injuries. We've did this to ourselves, losing to these teams. We were at full strength tonight. I know Oladipo was out, but don't give me that. Oladipo being out shouldn't prevent us from beating the Hawks without 6 of their best players. That's unacceptable. And something has to be done about it. We're so inconsistent. Jimmy said it himself so perfectly the other night. I don't know what team is going to show up. Is it going to be the team that's firing on all cylinders, or is it going to be a team that's just lackluster? As soon as that third quarter ended, I was like, man, this is exactly like the Timberwolves game, where they just completely outplayed us on every end. Out-hustled, outplayed. Bam was soft. Everyone just soft. No one was hustling. No one. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. This has to be fixed. We go up against the Bulls tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, or today as I'm recording this video. We better beat the Bulls, man, because the Bulls don't have Zach LaVine. I don't think they have Zach LaVine. And if they don't have Zach LaVine, you're gonna have to take advantage, because we can't be having the Bulls beat us twice. We're gonna have to take care of business against the Bulls. We play the Spurs, Cavs, Hornets. We gotta win these games. Thank God the Celtics lost, because if the Celtics didn't lose, we would be in trouble to come to that 4, 5, 6 spot, because they would have strengthened the gap. So we got to make sure we take care of our business, because we can't be looking up at the standings and we realize we're deep in that playing spot and we're not going to be coming out. This is a tough stretch and we're going to have to deal with it. And this was a very disappointing start. Spo is going to get on those players. I think he should, but he also has to be a little bit more smarter with his rotations. Playing Goran Dragic as much as he did was just puzzling to me. He wasn't doing anything out there. He trusts guys that he trusts. He has guys that he trusts. But some people like, sometimes you're not gonna, Goran Dragic might let you down. You're gonna need, a backup. Tyler Hero should have played more minutes than Goran Dragic. If anything, Max Strus, put him in the game. He might have done something different. Try something, change something, make some adjustments. Goran Dragic, I'm not trying to be, harp on Goran. It's not like I hate Goran or something. He's one of my favorite players. He just played terribly today, and we needed to mix it up. So yeah, I mean, our bench scoring was terrible. Apart from Tyler, no one else was in double digits. So we had to step that up, and we didn't. But hopefully, we step it up against the Bulls today. But I really want to talk about this bench, because the bench has been terrible. The bench has been one of our biggest problems, and I want to address what I've seen from the bench these couple of games. Not only these couple of games, for the whole season. Let's just talk about the whole season when we've had healthy benches. What I've seen, because there have been some ugly bench performances from us, which cannot continue. And everyone wants to talk about Jay Crowder as why we're not doing well. I think Trevor Ariza has been playing really well. You can argue that he's been playing better than Jay Crowder did for us. This is no disrespect to Jay, but he's not the reason we're doing this. He's not. It's the bench is the main reason why we're struggling. Because I think when our starters play, we play fine. Okay. When our bench comes in the game is when they start getting control. This is a pattern in almost every scenario. Even against the Timberwolves, their bench completely, Naz Reid and everyone, they completely dominated us. And in this game, it was worse. Now, I know who Naz Reid is. I watched Naz Reid. He's a good player. Brandon Goodwin, you're letting a random guy come out and just start torching you on the bench. That shows me that your bench defense is terrible. And it's not even only the defense. The offense sucks too. Let me tell you why. Iguodala is a guy who's not going to score, right? And this is not Iguodala's fault. He's there to provide a certain role. He's a high IQ guy. His days as a scorer are numbered. He's a guy who's going to be the primary playmaker and primary wing defender off the bench, if you want to say. When Iguodala is not scoring, that's fine. You can have Iguodala not score, but everyone else is going to have to step up and start scoring for you. When Iguodala and Dragic are not scoring, it's a problem because your only outlet of scoring is Tyler and Dwayne Dedmon, who is a big. Do y'all see what I'm saying? When Iguodala is not going to score, right? When Iguodala is not going to score. When someone else along with him is not scoring the ball, like Goran Dragic did against the Hawks yesterday, we are not going to have a great bench performance because the only outlet of scoring is Tyler and Dwayne Dedmon. And defensively, it's even worse. Tyler and Goran, that backcourt is terrible defensively. I'm sorry. They get cooked every time. Off the bench, it's free cheese for the opponent. You know, I don't care how much Spo wants to talk about Tyler's improved defense. To me, it looks the same as what it was last year. Maybe his team defense has improved. He's getting more steals in the passing lanes, but one-on-one defense, he's always been the same. And Goran, same thing. So Tyler and Goran in the backcourt is a nightmare defensively, and offensively, if one of them is not scoring, we're in trouble because we need both of them to score because our other guys, Iguodala, is not going to score, and Dwayne Dedmon is a big man who's going to need the ball, who's going to need, touches in the paint to score. What I think we can do, listen, he's not a scorer. KZ Okpala is not a scorer. But for defensive purposes, I'm telling you, if KZ Okpala plays the 4 position, we can have him guard the bench. Him and Iguodala guard the 2 best scorers on the bench. Because that's what we did against the Spurs, and I thought it worked out really perfectly. Iguodala did not play against the Spurs, but I thought with KZ there against the Spurs, I thought he played some great defense. I think him and Iguodala, KZ has to get some minutes. He has to. For defensive purposes, if Spo wants to forget defense and just go offense on the bench, you still have a guy named Nemanja Bjelica, who, if I'm not mistaken, was starting for Sacramento, and now he's not even getting minutes for us. We kind of just traded for him for no reason because he's fallen out of the rotation. So when is Bjelica getting minutes? I think he's been the forgotten man. We traded for him and he hasn't played like at all. And when he's played like a couple minutes. So Bjelica, where is he? I understand for defensive purposes, if you don't want to play Bjelica, that's fine. But at least put KZ in there. You got to play one of those two. If you want to go defense, play KZ. And if you want to go offense, play Bjelica. Because they're running a 9-man rotation right now. It's not going to cut it because one of them is one of those people off the bench is not going to score. The second one is a big who is going to need touches in the paint to score. And the other 2 guys are highly inconsistent. The reason we're not the same this year is because of Goran Dragic's decline. And no one wants to talk about that. Everyone wants to talk about Jay Crowder. And Jay Crowder was a big piece for us last year. But I thought we did a really good job replacing him with Trevor Ariza. I think Trevor Ariza has been one of the most underrated pickups of the deadline. He's been consistently giving us solid minutes, hitting his threes as of late, and he's been playing amazing defense. So Trevor Ariza, I think, is a perfect replacement. And I'm not surprised if we extend Trevor Ariza going forward. The bench, Goran Dragic has severely declined, and he might be the one who might have to go in free agency. We love Goran, we all love Goran, but you're gonna have to put the team over your sentimental value for any player, right? And Goran Dragic has not been the same player. Maybe it's because of his injury, or maybe it's because of his age. We will never know. But everyone's talking about save Goran for the playoffs. I don't know where everyone's getting this confidence that in the playoffs he's gonna start turning it up a notch. I know he did that last year, but even in the regular season last year, he was really solid. This year he's been on and off, and he's only been on a couple games, and that's like recently against the Nets and against the Rockets. Those are the 2 best games of Goran's season. And he played good against the Jazz. I forgot about the Jazz. But those are the 3 best games of Goran's season. I can't really think of another game that he really played well in. Maybe if I look back, maybe I'll find one, but I don't think it's that many. So he has to figure it out, or Spo has to change up the rotations. We really miss Oladipo. I can't even front. We miss Oladipo a lot, but without Oladipo, we should be able to beat the shorthanded Hawks. Come on now. We have to fix up these rotations because Goran and Tyler in the backcourt is an absolute disaster defensively, and offensively, if one of them is not producing, we're gonna get crushed by the opposing bench. So I'd say probably try to put one of them in the starting lineup and try to bring. I know K-Nun's been playing amazing, but if you bring K-Nun to the bench unit, K-Nun competes on defense, and K-Nun will be consistent no matter what. And I think if you sacrifice some of that scoring as a starter and put him on the bench to boost our bench unit, I think we'll be fine. So I think maybe bring K'Nunn off the bench because he's a very consistent bench option, and KZ Okpala to bring in KZ Okpala for defense, or if Spo does not want to go defense, bring in Nemanja Bjelica for offense, because both of those are lacking on our bench right now. I think the only one who's been playing really well off our bench is Dwayne Dedmon, and that's by his standards. He's been playing really good. We do not expect what Dwayne Dedmon is doing right now, and he's been very solid. But yeah, man, going past the bench, the starters, I cannot wait for Bam Adebayo to switch onto a guard. Well, Kendrick Nunn is on Vucevic tonight. We'll see how that goes. That's gonna be fun to see, because they actually have a big who's gonna kill us down there if we do all this switching and trapping nonsense. Vucevic is gonna kill us if we don't defend him. If we put smaller guards on him, he's gonna kill us, because he's the only guy that they have who's like their all-star right now, because Zach LaVine is injured. So we have to beat the Bulls. We have to beat the Bulls. Maybe it's fatigue that's catching up to us. I don't know. I'm trying to brainstorm of things that are catching up to us, that are making us really, really bad. No clue. I just think that it's the bench. I think it's the bench, and I think it's the effort on the offensive and defensive glass that's really, really killing us. And if we get those two sorted, at least little by little every single day, we should be okay. And if I'm looking at the schedule, we should be able to win these games against, the Cavs and the Bulls and the Spurs and the Hornets. But knowing this team, I have no clue what team is going to show up. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. It was a bit of a longer video. I just wanted to ramble about the issues that I saw. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments and / questions of the day in the comment section below for me to read them in the next episode. I'll see y'all later as always, man. Keep killing it. Peace.